Good evening. I'm Brett Blunt with Coach's Corner. We're here with Coach Heron of the Wildcats. Coach, another big win, 42-8 over Brunswick Pirates. Now you got to be excited about that.
Well, I tell you, it was a strange game in that it did not go the way we anticipated it in terms of, we had watched them the week before in the film with Coffee, and they'd had almost 1,200 yards of offense in the last 2 weeks, and so we felt like it might get into a shootout because they'd given up a lot of points as well, and we were kind of expecting an offensive fireworks, from that standpoint, and it didn't turn out that way. Our defense played extremely well. It was a low-scoring game until we kind of got untracked offensively, and really wound up a different type game than we thought. But it was a good win for us. Like I said, the defense really kind of controlled the game from the outset, and the offense kind of got untracked finally, and we were able to get another region win.
Well, defense always, wins championships, and I know that's always been one of the big, hallmarks of us. We put our, better players on defense and really emphasize that a lot. I know it's got to be exciting for you going in, to these last couple games, the playoffs that the defense is playing that well.
Well, absolutely. You can't win it in 6A or 5A like it used to be without playing great defense, because everybody else does. When you get to the playoffs, everybody's going to be good on defense, and I think they're peaking at the right time. Now this week certainly presents a different type of challenge, but we go from a pass-happy team to a run-happy team to another pass-happy team to end the season. So our defensive guys have to adjust, but they've been pretty good at that all year.
Well, a good thing coming out, you talking about having to adjust between the different styles. As you get into the playoffs, you have to, do a lot of that, and you face different teams. And it seems like, the spread and throwing around a lot seems to be one of the end things now. So that's, getting some experience like that against Brunswick's got to help down the line at some point.
Well, it does. And you're going to see different styles every week. That's just part of it. But that's kind of been the way we do things, is that we try to be as simple as we can, so we don't have to change a lot of stuff, from our defensive game plan, our offensive game plan, and hopefully we've got a good enough plan that's going to work against whoever we play.
And as you see this on the college level as well as the high school level when you're coaching, how important is it, you kind of hit on a second, to simplify things so that they are playing fast? It seems sometimes kids, I would think it'd be worse at the high school level. They think too much. They're not reacting. They're thinking instead of flying to it and being simple and just going with what you got.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all the time. If a kid's thinking he's not going to play fast, and we would like to err on the side of being simple and playing fast. And if you can get lined up right and you know what you're supposed to do on defense, you got a chance to be pretty good. And hopefully we're able to do that. We're making some progress. Now good offensive teams can sometimes take advantage of that, but I think in the long run, if you got kids out there confused, you're not going to play very well.
Talk about defensively, offensively. Some of the highlights of the game, some of the things that stood out. Players, things like that.
Well, defensively, like I said earlier, we were able to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I think Travis Johnson maybe had 3 sacks. I think Antonio Wimbush had 4. I think Raphael Hardy had 3. We don't know this record, but we think we probably broke the school record for sacks in the game, probably a lot. We had a bunch. I don't remember the exact number, but we were up in double digits on sacks, and they had to use actually 3 different quarterbacks. So that was certainly a highlight for us. Offensively, Bryce threw 3 touchdown passes. I think 2 to Connor Lockhart, 1 to Antonio Wimbush, and but some of that was because we were having a little difficult time running the ball. Brunswick did a good job on defense. Some of the low lights, we had 2 touchdowns called back on penalties in the first half. That was very frustrating, and we had a lot of penalties. I think we had 11 or 12 in the first half, which was the most we've been penalized all year long, I believe, and that was a concern. And we had some mistakes. We missed a field goal, just missed it completely, and they picked the ball up and ran it in for a touchdown and went for 2, and for the first time all year we were behind, and our kids handled that well. We drove back down and took the lead back, but it certainly made the game a lot more close than it probably should have been.
What do you do when you're talking about penalties? What do you do to assess that? You know, when you come back after a week where you've had a lot of that, I mean, it's important to play with a lot of emotion and fire, but you've also got to be disciplined.
Yes.
How do you know, I know at some of the other levels they bring in officials and, you know, and they, you know, have them officiate practices to show the kids this is what's going to be called. And at the high school level, what do you do to correct those kind of issues so that you don't have it for the next game?
Well, we don't have officials at practice. Sometimes we've done that in the past, but you know, again, sometimes that depends on what officials you have, what they call, don't call, that sort of thing. Every official's crew is different. Every group's different, and you know, the further you go in the playoffs, the bigger the games are. They tend to, you know, you get sent better officials. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. And they're going to call less things. You know, they're going to let you play more, so to speak. But you know, from a practice standpoint, you know, we see a penalty in practice, we're certainly going to try to correct it, and we show the kids film and all that. But you know, sometimes you get in here and you look at film, and you know, we had a penalty called on a punt return the other night that, you know, I watched the film from 3 different angles about
Just
10
didn't see
times, and I don't know where that one came from.
Right.
You know, we had some others that were certainly, you know, effort penalties, and you know, I don't have as big a hard time with an effort penalty. You know, we didn't have really any stupid penalties that we like to say to them where they just did something they shouldn't have done. And you know, I don't have a problem with effort penalties. Those will kind of even out. You know, I do have a problem if a kid does something stupid, you know, doesn't have any business doing. But we didn't. I mean, we had a kid from their team ejected for punching our guy, kicking our guy, and our guy let it go. You know, he didn't retaliate. So that part was good. If we can eliminate the, you know, some of the effort penalties and we can eliminate some of the phantom ones, then
Sure.
We'll be all right there.
Got a big game coming up this week.
Yes, we do.
Lowndes. You know, you would think that you would need to do a lot, say a lot to get the kids up for this one. You know, what's the attitude going in from the team going in this game?
Well, we don't have to say much or do much to get them up for this one. They've looked at the schedule and known this one was there all year long, and you know, it's on ESPN. And, you know, it's a big deal. It's for the region championship. I mean, it's a simple thing. You win, you're region champs. You lose, you know, you're not going to be region champs. The other team is. So I think from that standpoint, you know, it's a kind of self-motivating thing. But we're excited about it. You know, there's a lot of similarities between us and Lowndes, a lot, from what we do offensively and defensively to our kicking game, and you know, we got a lot of respect for them and their coaches and what they do, and they do it the right way, and so we're excited about that. It'll be a great atmosphere. You know, it's going to be a packed stadium. They got 650 people in their band. I mean, you know, they'll have a huge crowd there, and we will too. And you know, national TV. I told the kids yesterday, you know, it doesn't get any better than that.
Sure. Well, you know, you hope our fans will, even though it's on TV, they'll still come out and get over there and support us, because that's a big part of, you know, getting the crowd behind it and having that support. The kids feed off of that.
Well, I can't imagine a true Wildcat fan not coming to the game and watching it on TV. You know, they can record it and watch it when they get back home, and they may be on TV that way. So, yeah, we need everybody there, because Lowndes will have a huge crowd, and you know, again, we want to win that battle as well.
How, you know, going into the game, injury-wise, how are we? Are we pretty healthy this late in the season going in?
Well, we'll find out. You know, we hope to get a couple of kids that have been a little banged up back, but you know, we've got a couple that got banged up other night that, you know, it's still early in the week. Sure. And we'll find out. But I think we'll be fine. You know, based on what I saw yesterday on Monday, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape.
Well, Coach, hopefully we come back and, you know, we've got a big win, because I know you said, you know, the region championship's on the line, but also, you know, it has to do with the seeding for the playoffs.
Right.
You know, that's a big issue.
Well, you know, we may be better off losing as far as the seeding goes. I know it sounds crazy, but our #1 seed out of this region has a really tough bracket. Looking ahead and the way things kind of panned out, you probably have Norcross and Grayson sitting there. And, you know, because of Grayson being upset earlier in the year. So Coach McPherson and I were both joking yesterday that we'd probably both be better off either being second or third, the way things look right now. But, you know, we're not going to try to let that happen for any reason. We're going to go out there and see if we can't win a region championship. We like doing that.
Well, I know being the first year in you know, this region, it would be good to get off on a good start and establish, you know, our program and all that. So hopefully we get off on good foot and get everybody out supporting the Wildcats, and we can come back next week and talk about the big win.
Good deal.
Thank you.